How you doing, family? I'm going to pick it right back up where we left off with the opening mantra. To know truth is to live truth. To know truth is to live truth. To know truth is to live truth. Okay, I'm going to pick it right up where we left off on the last movie. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to clarify a few things with what Professor Kaba talked about in his book. And we're going to go back over it again. And we're going to do this until I'm satisfied that I'm giving you everything that I think is going to help you to have a clear understanding, especially for you younger folks that you're closer to in your 18, 19, 20. If you have the ability to pay attention for this long, it's a stone miracle. But in case there are some of you that are out there that are on that level, I want to be able to clarify some things for you. Professor Kaba talked about the physical world and the spiritual world. I call it the metaphysical world, the non-physical world, which is the spiritual world. He talked about the different sciences that cover the science. That science is the overall topic, but the rules and the understanding and the knowledge topic that you need to have in order to understand the rules that impact the physical world and their different set of vocabulary and knowledge that you need to understand the metaphysical world. And he broke it down into spiritual and science, and that science governs the physical world and spiritual covers the metaphysical world. Okay? But he also went and broke it down into some sub topics, and I want to get it right for you here. And he went into what quantum physics deals with. And I felt like there was a little bit of confusion in here with quantum physics and gravity, a general and special laws of relativity. Now, what you can't see that I can see here in the book is when he says he's talking about, he says here in this statement that quantum physics is the inner atomic world from the human skin in, all right? And the general and special law of relativity represents the outer world from the human form. And that's, instead of skin, I say form out. Okay, let's back up a little bit. A repeat. Quantum physics is the inner world and the general and special law of relativity that represents the outer world. Okay, so quantum physics covers two subtopics of general and special And they both are under the laws of relativity. Okay? Gets a little crazy. I completely understand what he's talking about, but I need to get it to you. Need to have you clearly understand this so that I don't want any confusion. Okay? Quantum physics deals with the spiritual, metaphysical, non-physical side, which is infinite and perfect. And that is the part of you that is using these laws of relativity to express itself, yourself, through this physical form here. Now, what you have to understand is that this physical form has an AI. I call it an automatic intelligence. And we can't breeze over that. I browsed over it because I wanted to get some overall overview out to you with the last movie. But I want to focus and fixate on this form here. And I want to let Eckhart Tolle help me. And I want you to go to his book and read his book because he goes in detail to this, with this, okay? Or about this. Now, you got to understand something about this form here. Just like Professor Kaba says, the spiritual going in and science out here, okay, they are inseparable because you're in this form. The moment you came into this form, there is no separation. There is a virtual unity of the two. And since now you're not permanently connected, but you were assigned in a connective union, like a marriage, okay? But the spiritual is eternal, perfect, and forever. The external, which is this flesh vehicle, is temporary, imperfect, and finite. Finite means temporary, okay? And then it has another characteristic. Or let me say, the two have two different characteristics. The inner is righteous. It has a moral center because it is perfect, okay? But it doesn't have feelings per se. See? Feelings come into play when it as it expresses itself in waves. See, there is a vibratory thing going on here, and it's a wave. It's like a pulse that, with the beat of your heart, it's a pulse. A pulse, waves of expression, waves of beingness and awareness that bumps up against pulses of ego. This IAI, a lot of people call it the ego. The ego is a part of the flesh form, okay? That is the other name for the AI, the automatic intelligence, okay, of the flesh form. All right. Now, there's another thing I wanted to talk with you about in relations to forms. There are inanimate forms. Inanimate forms. It's a form. It has atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, but it's inanimate. It is not alive in the sense that it is a animated, intelligent, instinctively intelligent, or spiritual intelligence. See, you can have, let me get this right. I don't want to screw this up on you. I wrote this in my piece and I need to refer to it so I can get it correct. Now, you have this kind of form here that is not spiritual. It's spiritual in the sense that it was manipulated by thought that manipulated used the laws of quantum physics to create this. But it is not animated. It is an inanimate object. Now, animals, cows, dogs, cats, fish, birds, viruses, and things like that, those are animate things. Viruses and germs are animated things, but they're not intuitive. Intuitive spiritual things are okay, let me back up. There are animated things, like a human is an animate thing. An animal is an animate thing. A virus is an animated thing. But all animated things are spiritual as well. They are propelled by spiritual energies, okay? But there are two types of spiritual energies. The highest form, this is my understanding, the highest form of spiritual energy is intuitive. Intuitive spiritual energy has a totally different level of intelligence. Okay? Intuitive intelligence of a spiritual being has an awareness that it is a spiritual being, a distinctive being from other beings, and it has a higher level of intelligence in that it has the right to choose a free choice, almost random choice, because it is aware on a level that in the other type of spiritual being that you have is instinctive beings. Animals, viruses, and things like that, they run on instinct. The flesh vehicle runs on instinct. The flesh vehicle is animated by the spirit being plugged in, and the spirit is the battery. It has the power to make it come alive. In other words, you start the car by coming into it as a microcosmic spiritual being. You bring power and energy with you. And that's why when you leave, the body flops over and just stops working. But once you come in, the body has its own intelligence, and that intelligence is instinctive and automatic. And you got to understand this by way of the structure. And the first structure you got to know is you got to know yourself. And this is not self, but this is the car and the vehicle that you're riding in. So when I say self, I'm talking about both of you. I'm talking about the flesh form and the spiritual being riding in this vehicle. But the reason why I want you to know that your essential self, the essence that is you, is riding within this, is the spiritual side. the being of the human being combination. That's you. But let's be very clear about this structure. This animated form here that you animated the moment your spirit came in and was assigned to this vehicle here, created a instinctive form. Okay, and it's an intelligence. It's an instinctive intelligence that is jousting for control of the car. And it's there as a protective force in case you drop the ball and you are not trained to start taking control of this vehicle. And where is the center of control for this vehicle? Right here. So as you are growing up from a baby, all the time when you so out of control, you can't even hold your bowels. That's how out of control of this vehicle. You're just riding around because your spiritual intelligence that is intuitive in its nature, drawing its awareness and its intelligence from the macrocosmic being. Okay, you have to, in each lifetime, you start all over again. And we set this up because the macro being wants to be in a position where it does not know everything. That's why the microcosmic being was created. And that's what you are in every lifetime that you come back. But you got to understand the rules of what you are. You don't die. You can't die because you are a direct tool of the macrocosmic being. And so the animals, so are the animals. They are direct tools of the macrocosmic being. But you know what? You have an intelligence and they have an intelligence. Your intelligence is intuitive, which means you have something that they don't have. You have two powerful aspects of your intelligence. Your intelligence allows you and authorizes you to be aware that you are distinct from the macro being and that you are a micro being. See, the awareness of that is extended only to you. The animals, the flies, the bugs, the bees, and all these other things, they have an intelligence, but they are not aware. They are not aware that they are distinct from the macro being. They are purely instinctive. And I know I'm using this inked phrase or syllable a lot, but I want you to understand and be crystal clear about this distinction between an intuitive intelligence and an instinctive intelligence. An instinctive intelligence that is running on autopilot, and it is pernicious and it never gives up because it was put into motion by an unlimited being. And you were put into this macrocosmic extension of the macrocosmic being, and therefore you have way more power than they have, because you're aware. You will grow in each lifetime to become aware that you are a microcosmic expression of God. That realization alone is the unique difference that makes you unique from the animals, the bugs, the viruses, and the germs. None of them are aware that they are in a microcosmic expression of a greater ultimate power. And you understand, you will come and you have the intelligence to become aware of what you can do. That's called intuitive intelligence. All animate, moving, living objects or animals have intelligence, but their intelligence is instinctive. And the ones that are aware, okay, that and have a higher level of intelligence, you will find them to be dolphins, seals, dogs, and stuff. They have a little bit more awareness going for them. See, lions and tigers and stuff, that are in the wild, since they're wild and brute dumb, haven't been trained or anything like that, haven't interacted with other human beings. See, you so powerful, anything that interacts with you starts to become, their level of intelligence goes up, because you train them just to interact with you. They have to become something different from all the other animals that are running around wild and crazy and don't know nothing and don't have no rules and no structure. See? But once they come in contact with you, their level of intelligence goes up. And you don't have to believe me. Stick around, read around, search around. You'll see. The moment they get in touch with you, because there's something unique about you, and what it is that awareness and that direct connection to the universal spirit, that unlimited intelligence. You're aware that you can never die. These animals don't know that. They don't even really care. What's one good thing about instinct? You don't care. Because one thing instinct allows them to do that can really cause a lot of hell for you is, see, you have the choice, see, to not be present in the now. They don't. All they know is right now. They don't remember the past. They don't remember when they were a baby and remember what their daddy did to them and remember what their mother did to them and their aunt. See, they don't have that kind of intelligence. They cannot visualize a future. Oh, what kind of house do I want? Oh, I can imagine myself being married. And what kind of wife do I want? What kind of husband do I want? What kind of children? See, all of that, they don't know nothing about none of that. They don't know nothing about that. Because if they did, they'd be drawing it on walls and stuff. They'd have the kind of intelligence to be. They can't do none of that. How come they're not drawing and you drawing? How come you're building monuments? How come they're not building monuments? You don't see them. All they do is the basic stuff. Build a house someplace where they got beavers. They'll build a house where they got to live, and they'll go in there and chop wood and go live in the house and have babies and go chop wood and go live in the house, and they won't do nothing outside of that. Not you. Not you. You gonna do a whole lot of other high level stuff that no other being on the planet can do. Even animals, animate beings that are purely instinctive, in their nature. They're not intuitive. You are intuitive. That's a higher level of intelligence. That means you can think a question and to get it from the universal spirit. An answer will come to you and you'll recognize that it is an answer that you asked the question to. See, that's a level of intelligence. These instinctive intelligences don't have that. Only intuitive intelligences have that. See, that's why I stopped and I'm doing this movie. You've got to understand that. You are an intuitive intelligence, and because of that, you have a level of awareness that don't exist for instinctively intelligent, animated beings. This must be clear. Are we clear? Okay. We must be clear here. And this is the knowledge and the wisdom that you have to understand. So when you're using the law of attraction, Rhonda Burns, Neville Goddard, this is where it's coming from. Okay, they purely focus on it. And that's what I want to purely focus on with you. But these first 40 movies, I'm going to dedicate 40 movies basically to explain to you the anatomy of existence, because you got to understand down to the granular base elemental level what and who you are. You have to understand that. In order for you to be able to free your mind, you have to be empowered by the wisdom of what you are. And once you have a total, comprehensive, well-rounded, informed knowledge base of what you are, that's it. That's it. Now you're just aware of it. Now, once you start putting it into practice and it becomes a living knowledge for you, and you're living this truth every day, it's going to radically change your life. And you're going to look at life totally different. And just that realization is what we call becoming self-realized and self-aware. Because now you are directly connected to the memory of what you are. And with that knowledge comes power. Because now you will direct your thinking and be more clear on exactly why you need to take control of the thought flow in the mind space of this vehicle. And the automatic intelligence that this animated form that you animated when you came into it, you turned on the lights and turned on the life support system. And that life support system comes with a HAL. If you saw the movie, what was the name of that movie? The very first scientific movie where they had a computer that ran the whole ship. And the name of that computer was HAL. In Iron Man, he calls his intelligence Jarvis. Well, you got one that came with this, the life support that came with, you came into this, you walked into this vehicle, you were born into this vehicle, and it grew into this. Well, there's a HAL in there, a Jarvis running this vehicle here. And the name of your Jarvis is whatever name your mama gave this vehicle when you were born. That's Jarvis. My mama called my Jarvis Russell. That name applies to this vehicle here, not you. You cannot be named because you are an infinite being. But your Jarvis, your body can have a name. Go with it. Roll with it. But let's be clear. And you know why I'm saying that to you? Because the moment this vehicle ceases to function, all them names, your mama, your brother, your daddy, everybody, everything connected to this form right here on this physical time space continuum, as Professor Copper said, and my brother Warren said to me back in 1978. I first heard that thing. Everything on this plane that allows you to, that you are interacting with through this vehicle form, is directly connected to this vehicle form. And don't you forget that. So when my mom passes away, the sense of loss and grief that I'm going to feel will be because of the sensations that have grown over time through this form. But the moment my form is done, as much as I love my mama, and I love my mama, I love my grandmama. These two women are my whole world, you know. And I love my brothers too. They pain in the ass, but I love them, you know. But it's your parents that really, because you know they love you almost unconditionally. If you got good parents, okay, and I had great, well, my father wasn't nothing, but my mama, my grandmother, and my stepfather, and my two stepfathers, my step granddad, I got phenomenal parents. I got villages of parents and people that raised me and made me who I am. I'm very clear about that. You know, but all of that, as much as I love these people, my son, beautiful grandson, granddaughter, you know, the ones that I've gotten to know, my niece, my nephew, as much as I love them just so much. But unfortunately, the way the whole thing is set up, folks, you can't take none of that with you into the next life. Because all of that is connected to Hal, to Jarvis, to Russell. I can change my name to whatever I want, but all of that is connected to this animated into a form that has a built-in automatic intelligence. And it's not, you don't have to be sad about it because that's later. That's later. Stay in the now. And see, because you are also an instinctive intelligence as well as an intuitive intelligence, the instinctive intelligence comes with the form. So because you're married, you get all of that. You bring your intelligence and your intuitiveness into this whole marriage. But you also have instinctive things that you're going to experience because that's why you're here. The instinctive side of your marriage here, this that comes with this form, impacts your intelligence and has a whole emotional feeling thing going on here. And that's why, you know, they say the more you bond with your spiritual self, you can disconnect all these emotions because they're not what you are. They come with the form. So meditation teaches you, and the kind of level of control you are uh, working to develop is the control where you can turn stuff on and you can turn stuff off, where you can step out of form and disassociate. And what Eckhart teaches is unidentify with form. But what I want you to do is be fully aware that you never have been the form. You're riding in the form. And so what Eckhart has talked about in his snippet that I played before, that I decided not to include in the movie that I post to YouTube, but if my family and my kids come directly to me, I will send them their personal copy of that YouTube video that is not posted for public view. And there was no fees and costs, no money exchange, and then I can share that with them. So I decided not to post that to Facebook. Haven't done it, won't do it. Okay? But Eckhart talks about a question that he had gotten from one of his folks at one of his retreats, where they were talking about the current, we're in now April 1 of 2020, 2020. And we have a virus going around called the coronavirus. And for the first time, people in the United States are under a form of martial, not directly martial law, but under rules of separation. And it's creating a bunch of anxiety because most people are unaware of what they are and who they are. So they are terrorized. And it doesn't take, it takes nothing to send these people into a whole tirade of terror, because they're so woefully miseducated and undereducated and just ignorant. And it's not their fault, but the society did this on purpose because they want to make them perpetual consumers and make sure you never think for yourself, because they want you under complete and total control at all times. See, except those of us that are self-aware and self-actualized. We're not in a panic. This is a legitimate virus that is going around, but there will be many, many more. That's the way the human being evolutionary process. Every time I come back into my next reincarnate into my next life form, there'll be another kind of virus going through. The whole society will evolve into something else. It'll be something we don't know. We set it up so we won't know. Doesn't matter. See, what matters is that you understand that it's happening to the form. And that's what Eckhart Tolle talks about. When he is explaining why the person is having all these anxiety attacks and is stressed out and fearful, what he's trying to explain to the person in the retreat, his answer to that question, oh, what's going to happen? I'm afraid that I will infect somebody else. I'm afraid that I will lose all of my wealth and all of my fortune. It hasn't happened yet. And I'm afraid that I may die if I catch the disease. So all these fears and things is what's being conjured up by the AI. And the only reason it's happening like that is because that person has not trained their AI to do as it's told, instead of doing whatever the hell it wants to do. And the way we were raised, and the lousy, filthy, you don't even have an education system. What you have is a training process that every human, especially in the United States, you ain't got no hope of ever becoming aware, going through that education system. Now, unless you go to a private school somewhere, or you are homeschooled and your parents stumble on to the truth, because most of them don't know, unless you go through that, you ain't got no hope of ever being free, confident, and secure in the fact that even if your vehicle ceases to function. So, okay, I'll come back and do in another vehicle. No big deal. But I'm not going to be scared. And I'm not going to be worried about something going to heaven and see, let me see, did I do this right? Did I do it right? Am I going to go to hell? Am I going to heaven? Is Jesus going to be there waiting for me? It's foolishness and fairy tale and stupidity. And all of this they're feeding the flesh vehicle because you don't know nothing. So the AI say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a party now. Well, he's a dumbass. This one, he don't know nothing. Instinct. Do nothing, brute dumb. Do nothing but take total and complete advantage and don't care. Gotta understand that. And that's why people who are not self-aware and not self-actualized, oh, you're in a torture chamber. You're in the terror dome. As we used to say back in the day, you're a victim, you're getting whipped and knocked and slapped and just thrown all over the place. The moment you become aware is the moment you disconnect from those thoughts and feelings that are going through, and you're watching them going through, and that's a problem. You shouldn't be just watching something go through, and if you triggering all kinds of, and you're reacting, having fearful reactions to what you're seeing going through your mind space, that's because nobody told you that you're supposed to be taking control of that. You ain't supposed to let any goddamn thing come through your mind. You're not supposed to allow that. Nobody taught you that. That's what I'm teaching you now. In order for you to do this, law of attraction, you got to get a handle on that. And at this stage of the game, don't worry about perfection. Just do. Take charge. And Eckhart is going to teach you how to do that. Eckhart's going to teach you. And you know how you do that? First step is realize that you're not the thought. And that this form, the ego of this form vehicle is constantly thoughts, and what Eckhart says it beautifully. You're not thinking anything. Thoughts are happening. And as I said in my other videos, you're either projecting, you have thoughts that you are projecting, and there are thoughts that your AI, the form, is projecting. But you better believe something's going to be projecting through that mind space. But you know what? You have the intuitive and the intelligence to be able to say, okay, maybe those thoughts have been going through, but I want to focus on this. And those thoughts are going through whatever. But those thoughts that are going through have no power. The only thoughts that have power are the thoughts that you allow to repeat. And the good thing about those thoughts that are going through, they usually never repeat. Now, there are reactive thoughts that will repeat, but they're the result of trauma. And that's where you got to get into this book right here, Dynetics. Those are what they call reactive thoughts. They're either reactive thoughts or projected thoughts. And reactive thoughts can only get your attention because everything is trying to get your attention. Who are you? You are the microcosmic being. And everything is trying to get your attention because you are the source of power. And if the AI can distract you from projecting thoughts, then it stays in control. And we put that there. So there's no reason to hate the flesh vehicle. You can't hate your flesh vehicle. That's your pet. That's your car. You can't hate your car. Don't waste your time doing that. Take charge. That's what you should spend your time doing. Taking charge of this flesh vehicle right here. Take charge of this mind space. Brutal, mean. You got to be, don't play. Because now you're playing catch up. See? So when I say don't play, that means ignore. Brutally ignore. Stop all that stupidness. Because that's not something I want to think. I ain't even going to get into that. Let me focus on my Tesla. Let me focus on my car that I want. Let me focus on how hitting this lottery and how I'm going to act when I get that money. Get all happy. Hey, that's what I'm going to focus on. Let me see, how am I going to get this money going on here? That's how you have to do it. You got to be brutal about that. You got to keep doing it over and over, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 100 times a day. Because you're playing catch up now. You got to get to work. See? That's the kind of intelligence that you are, but you didn't know. Now you know. Now that you know, there's responsibility that comes with that. No excuses. There is nobody to go to and get help from because you don't need nobody. Not in here. You don't need nobody in here. You the boss. And don't let nothing, nobody tell you otherwise. You know how you know you're the boss? Because as soon as something go wrong, only you gonna pay. Only you. This being this fresh form right here, that thing don't give a damn. It's just happened to be here. And that's why when they do take over this mind space, they don't give a damn about you. It's doing what it do. It ain't thinking about you. And it's not even thinking about what it's thinking. It's just doing shit. Don't care. Because it's not an intuitively intelligent thing. It's an instinctive thing. It's just doing it because it's supposed to do it. Ain't got nothing else to do. See? You got to take charge of that. The only reason it's doing it is because you ain't doing nothing with the mind space. The moment you start projecting thoughts on a regular basis, that doggone thing will go in the corner somewhere and sit the hell on down. Because it don't know what the hell it's doing no way. It can't get no mileage out of your mind space because it can't repeat. It just keeps making up new stuff, new ways to make you paranoid, nervous, and focused, and distracted, and nonsense. But see, that's a reaction to the way you were educated and the way you were raised. You were raised on terror, fear, and insecurity by the pastor. Oh, you need Jesus. You need somebody else to do it for you. And you inhabit that now. And just me saying you throw that damn Bible out scares the hell out you. See, there you go. Fear. The moment fear comes in, or an alarm should go off. Because nothing I have said to you about doing what I'm telling you to do, I never said you should be scared or terrorized. I never said it once, and I never will. Because spirituality is nothing but pure power, can do, and kick ass. Ain't about no fear. You working with God. You working with the boss. You are the boss, direct connected to the boss. All you gotta do is repeat thoughts in your mind and break the shackles of fear and terror and realize that you're God having a human experience. Once you get that confidence in your gut, in your belly, in your spine, and when people step to you with BS, you just look at them and laugh. And I ain't got time for that. I'm focusing on what I'm going to have, what I have now. And I see what I want as right now having it. And the work and the energy and the focus that takes. I ain't got no time for no other foolishness. Okay? So I want to draw that distinction for you so that you understand very clearly you are an intuitive intelligence that is unique, and no other animal on this planet can do that. These other animals are instinctive, and they have their environment and their territory where they roam, and that's their home. And if you get in their territory, they have defense mechanisms that's designed to protect what they got. It ain't about you. They're not coming after you. You just happen to cross and you broke some of their rules. And you better get to learning when you walking around and roaming around this planet here, you better know where you going. Animals not thinking about you. They just know you ain't where you supposed to be. You out of place. And they don't know you. So they will attack you out of just pure defending their turf. And they're not going to eat you because they don't eat you. You don't have enough fat cells. You're not worthy. You're not even the kind of food they like to eat. But they will kill you to get you, stop you, because they're dumb. They're not smart. They're just dumb. See? And the same with this stupid vehicle here. And I don't mean no disrespect to the vehicle, but the vehicle has no intelligence, has no intuitive, it has instinctive intelligence, but it has no intuitive intelligence. It has no awareness of itself as a being. You are the only one that know that you're a being. And that you can look at the mind space, you can see it. This flesh vehicle can't see the mind. It's just doing stuff haphazardly. And until you take control and start projecting your stuff, your thoughts, your visions, it'll keep doing it. You trained it to do that. So now it's protecting its turf. And you got to go in and snap some fingers and break some arms and tell it, this ain't your turf, this is mine. And forgive me for dropping the ball, but I'm here now. Back off. And you don't tell it to back off. You make it back off by projecting, taking over. This is your mind space here. When everything go wrong, you gonna pay. So you take over this mind space. See, and it's not about better than something else. It's about being better at doing what you're supposed to do. You got to do better than what you've been doing, but you didn't know. So now you know, get to work on just doing a better job of controlling everything in your environment. Now that you understand the boundaries are clear, the structure is clear. Okay? Now you know what you got to do. So let's get to work, okay, and get into this law of attraction. So now I already explained to you about the structure, okay? Now I want to read to you a little bit about, to confirm what Rhonda Burns, I'm going into Rhonda Burns now, the law of attraction. And I'm going to read to you what a few of the knickknacks of what they said here, which I found to be very inspiring. It said the law of attraction is always working, and this is pivotal. This is pivotal to you controlling that mind space. The law of attraction is always working. And that's what I said about the subconscious mind. It's just doing like this, it's listening. And all it's saying is yes. That's all it says, is yes. It says whether you believe it or understand it or not. Again, the subconscious mind don't care. All it's doing is listening to whatever repeated thoughts is going on and the emotions that you're putting behind it. See, there is a combination: clarity, repetition, and emotions. repeated. That cycle, clear vision, emotions to go with it, and it's being repeated. That's what the subconscious machine is listening for. And the moment it gets that consistently, it gets to work manipulating, using quantum physics to manipulate matter to bring about the circumstances to manifest whatever you were repeating and you were feeling. Yes, yes, that's the color I want. Yeah, I want that chrome edging. I'll make it matte black. Yeah, I want my cats to be there. Yeah, I can see myself feeding them repeatedly every night. Yeah, playing with them every night. Same thing. Yeah. And the subconscious machine will say, okay, I got it. Stick with it. Now, it didn't come yet. You gonna have periods of disappointment, sure. Don't matter. What matters is that you keep repeating. Now, that's the kind of faith. That's what you need to have faith in that. See, that's faith in you. Faith in the power and the authority that God has blessed you with your intelligence, with your awareness. See? That's what you have to focus on. Let me check my time now. Battling. Oh. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh boy. Almost an hour gone. Okay, so that would run, and this is just a little seed thought on the top of a page here, okay? Subconscious machine is an intelligence all by itself, and it don't care. Purely instinctive. Part of the machinery that just manifests stuff. And if you think God is involved, stop that. God is just like this. Don't have to care. Too big. Don't even see you. You're a cell within the body politic of God. Do you think I see some cell down there going through the vein doing what? Don't care. It's not personal. It's not that I'm actively trying not to care. It's not on my level. I don't even see it. How can you not care about something you don't even see and you're not aware of it? You're too big. I'm too big. That's what the brother said. The body is to the universe as the cell is to the body. The atom is to the body. Whatever nanite element. Not personal. You just got to understand the rules. The only thing that matters is you. What are you doing now? That's all that matters. The happiness and joy, perfection and order and structure in your life, it's got to be now, and you are in complete and total control of it. So you got to become an environmentalist. See, you got to create. See, I created this world, all this stuff you see here, all this structure, and all this clean surfaces and things. That's because this is how I want it. Period. And it's not personal. I'm not angry. I like order. I like cleanliness. I like structure. Because I want my mind to be, my mind is ordered, structured. get up every morning and have a clear path of exactly what I want to do. That's just how it is. I understand my gifts, and the pathways are clear. There's no doubt. There's no fear. There's no superstition. Oh, I walked under a ladder. Oh, I broke a glass. I broke the mirror. Oh, jeez. You can't say the word Jesus. Don't say that word. Don't curse. Don't don't curse. You're gonna go to hell. Please. See all of that babble, all of that resistance, all that stupidity, all that noise. I'm not going through any of that. See, I think power. I think success. I see myself teaching you guys, you girls, you whatever, folks. That's all I see. I see myself already have hit the lottery. I know what kind of house is coming. I know what kind of house I want. Know what kind of pets I want. Know what color cars I want. Know what fleet of cars I want. I have the whole shebang. I know exactly what I have. The question is, can you pay attention? Do you have the peace of mind, the confidence, and the clarity of your vision, and the clarity and awareness of who and what you are? And are you living that truth every day? Are you balancing out the amount of time you spend controlling and seeing the vision and feeling the emotions and the joy and the happiness from the things that you now have that are not yet seen? If once you have it in your mind, you have it in your heart, and you feel it, and you are clear of all confusion, fear, anxiety, and doubt, subconscious machine is already working. Because as Rhonda Burns says, the law of attraction is always working, whether you believe it or understand it or not. It don't care. It's too busy doing its job. It's not hesitating. It's not equivocating. It's not debating whether it should or should not do it. It's just doing its job. And that's how you got to be. You got to just do your job. And the joy is you're the only entity that has the freedom of will to pick and choose when, what, where, and, well, not how. How things are manufactured, that's autopilot. You don't have to worry about how. All you do is have to deal with what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how clear your vision is of what you have, not want, what you have. I mistakenly use that term want out of habit, but when you're doing it, you have to have it. You have to focus seeing yourself having it now. And I know I'm repeating, but we're breaking and we're cleaning up a lot of garbage that's been going on for decades. And I got to get you to understand. See, and I want to get you in the habit of understanding how to continue to gain knowledge on your own by focusing on those things that are really of value and it's going to get you something. And I want you to throw out that Bible, cut that damn TV off, and take time to get to practice knowing and getting comfortable with being your essential self and function from that perspective instead of the perspective of Jesus, are you going to do something for me? Come on, Jesus, I need you. I'm sitting here waiting and nothing is happening. That foolishness, stupidness, fairy tale, nonsense. And it's not your fault. But after you become aware and you keep doing it, you need a lot of work. That means you need a lot more work than I thought. Okay? Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. They go on to say, the law of attraction is the law of creation. Quantum physicists tell us that the entire universe emerged from thought. That one big bang thought. You create your life through your thoughts. And the law of attraction, and every single person does the same. It doesn't just work if you know about it. It has always been working in your life and every other person's life throughout history. When you become aware of this great law, then you become aware of how incredibly powerful you are to be able to think your life into existence. And somewhere in here they say you're a tower, which means it's a law, and that's what I said in my book. You're not you. You are the energy that drives the electromagnetic fields and quantum matter by simply controlling your thoughts and your beliefs and your feelings. You trigger a chain reaction where otherwise things would just sit still and not move. But the moment you trigger and use your repeated thoughts and imagination, crystal clear, you trigger a chain reaction that manipulates the electromagnetic and gravitational fields that Professor Carver talked about. Just now we talked about it. You trigger that. And only you can trigger that. All the other forces and whatnot is instinctive intelligences. And everything is pivotal to you and every other human being in this environment. So whoever's putting out the strongest fields is going to attract to them whatever it is they have. And that's why they say everything you see is the result of thought. Whose thought? If it's the universe, it's God's thought. If it's in your immediate environment, it's your thought, or your mom's thought, or your dad, or your sister, your brother. If they're stars and whatnot, they thought, and they attracted so much in their talents, in their abilities, and their skills to manipulate and utilize projecting the thoughts and the artistic and creative energies and thoughts that they're putting out attracted demand They are so attractive. They become so attractive by utilizing what they were born with. And they skillfully mastered all of the levers and levers that they were born with, it intelligence, and some people do it intuitively. They just automatically, some people just do it, maybe because they've been born so many times and they did the work in this lifetime, so that the spiritual development goes into the next vehicle already with the chops popping, because you've done the work. See? So the more you do work, the more you focus, the more you're going to attract to yourself positive, constructive, beautiful things. Your thoughts are beautiful, helpful. You're considerate. Whatever you put out, that's what you're going to attract to yourself. Loving, compassionate, giving, prosperous, wealthy, solid, sharp, clean, respectful, honorable, decent, intelligent, smart, sharp. You're going to become attractive. And it's going to impact everybody around you. And it's going to attract wealth. You want wealth, you have wealth, see yourself having wealth. That's what you have to do. Okay? I went through and I found a lot of things that I wrote going all the way back to 1979. And that's over 40 years ago. And I forgot that I wrote these things. I'm getting tired now, so. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. And I hope that I've pretty much covered all the things that I wanted to talk with you about in this movie. But the point I wanted to really emphasize to you is that you focus on doing your meditations at this point. And I'll continue to do more movies and point out other aspects of what I've been telling you for the last 33 movies. And this is now going to be movie number 34. Okay? But I think we're getting there. I feel comfortable and confident that I've given you enough wisdom and enough insight that you've long since been applying this in your lives. And I wish you continued success. And I'm confident that now you're starting to see successes, probably on a level way beyond what I'm doing, because I'm in my generational time zone, and you're in your generational time zone. And if you're younger than me, then you're going to be better than I am. That's just the natural evolutionary process of the human being evolution, and that's what's going on right now. And I'm happy and I'm proud of you if you've stuck with this workshop and lecture series this far. I'm very proud of you, and I know it's been a long path and it's a lot of information. And it's groundbreaking and totally different information that you've ever heard before, because I know I've never had nobody tell me on a granular, down-to-earth, person-to-person, personal level, where I'm not trying to be smarter than you and give you all of these highfalutin words or anything like that. I want you to comprehend exactly what I'm saying to you. And I want you to understand that this skill that you were born with, this power and authority that you were born with, everybody has it. It's not unique to any one person. We all have it. And it's very sophisticated and it's very powerful. And as Rhonda Byrne said in her book, it works whether you're aware of it or not. You're either attracting positive stuff to yourself or you're attracting negative stuff to yourself. And you have to work at changing that paradigm if you've been attracting, negative stuff you don't want. And don't ever give up. And you'll get it. You'll change it. It will get better. It will get better. But you have to work at it. Okay? And those of us who have the more advanced skills, you have to help the ones that are weaker. because there is no one going up and the rest just all just lay around as fat cells in the body politic of God. You can't do that. They're in your environment. So you have to constantly try to use tactics and tricks and things, or whatever you have to do in order to raise the awareness of everybody around you, because then that's going to make your environment healthier and holistic when everybody is doing better. That's the goal. Okay, family? To know truth is to live truth. To know truth is to live truth. To know truth is to live truth. One love, and I'll see you in the next movie.